everybody. It's The Circuit with Valerie. I'm your host, Valerie Somerville, and I have a very special guest with me today. It's none other than Billboard chart-topping, Dove Award-winning, Grammy-nominated, Stellar Award-winning. The list goes on and on. Miss Jekalyn Carr, how are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Now, we are super duper excited because we are going to get some new music from you very soon. And so, for those of
Yes.
you that don't know, last year Jekalyn recorded at Praise in the Park, a live album, and now this music is coming out actually this week. So, talk to us a little bit about the single "Changing Your Story." What inspired you to write and record that song?
So actually, this song came unexpected, and when God gave me the song, I didn't know what would be going on. I didn't know the circumstance we would be in when God told me to release the song. And so, but I do know that my assignment is to prophesy through song, the word of the Lord. And so, through this song, I want people to understand that God is ushering His people into a place that everything that you once struggled with will no longer be an issue for you anymore, because this is the time where God is changing your story. He's causing your hurt and the things that you've dealt with to now become a powerful testimony if you allow Him to do so. And so this is a prophecy that you would declare in your household or wherever you are. If you see sickness, if you see bondage, whatever you see, you begin to declare, God is changing my story. Not going to, but He's
That's
already
good.
changing that thing for me. He spoke it, and guess what? Whatever He declares, that's exactly what He's going to manifest. Just attach your faith to that word so you can see it become your reality.
That's wonderful. That's powerful. That's powerful. You always come at us with something that's going to keep us encouraged and something that's going to keep us going. And it's amazing because it's so apropos during this pandemic. So now let's take it back a little bit, Jekalyn. Let's give a little bit of backstory about you. We know you from Greater Is Coming and all the songs and albums that you've done. But at what age did you start singing?
I started singing at the age of 5 years old.
Wow. So was this
Yes,
under the
ma'am.
tutelage of mom and dad, or is this just something that was innate to you? Like, were you just singing in the shower and one day mom said, okay, I hear this little girl. She has some vocals on her. Like, what happened?
So I come from a singing family, and
Okay.
but my family is very huge on walking your purpose, and so I knew that this was what I wanted to do. I knew it was my passion. My parents recognized my gift. I know for one example, we were at choir rehearsal, and the choir was singing, but they were singing out of key, and I stopped them. I was 5 years old, and I stopped the choir, and I said, "Y'all are out of key." And I began to give them their correct keys. And so it was one of the, big eye openers by me being that young and able to distinguish my keys and things like that. And so again, my parents recognized my gift. My dad, who was my manager, just God gave him wisdom and everything that he needed to be able to carry my ministry, especially from a business aspect.
Okay. Okay. So who are some of your musical influences? Who kind of influences your sound?
So I love the legends. First, my family. Again, I come from a very very big family of singers, but for me, it's definitely the legends. I love the Winans, Pastor Dunn McClurkin, Miss Yolanda Adams. Who else? Pastor Shirley Caesar. I mean, all of the legends. You name it. I'm a very huge fan of them, and I think what draws me most to them is not just what they carry and their anointing and things like that, but to see their longevity. When you see them today, they are a prime example of what it looks like to have longevity at what God has given you, and it's very inspiring.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you are definitely following in their footsteps. Now, when you talk about your process for writing and coming up with the music that goes on your albums and your projects, what's that like for you? Do you keep a pen and paper by your bed? Are you always, kind of singing into your voice notes on your phone? Like, what is your process?
So for me, I always now we have our devices, so I can type it in. I used to keep pen and paper with me, but
Hmm.
most importantly, I have to have my recorder because
Okay.
sometimes I can have the lyrics, but then you forget the melody. But I have my recorder, but I hate to be deep about it, but most of my songs come straight from the presence of God. Whether
Amen.
I'm on stage, at home, in worship, whatever the case may be, all of my songs come straight from being in the presence of God. And so sometimes God would give me the melody and then he'll give me the lyrics. Sometimes he'll give me the lyrics first and the melody and put it together. So it just really depends on the timing and all of that. So that's kind of my writing process.
So with your new CD that's coming out, when people hear it, what type of experience do you want them to leave with? What is the overarching message of like all of the songs on the CD? And so when I listen to the entire project, what do you want me to walk away with?
Yes. So this album, I think it's mostly about identity. It's about victory, and I'll expound more upon it. When I say identity, I mean you really operating in who God has created you to be.
Mhm.
Each song carries a message that really helps you to understand what God has for you, who you are as his child, and what you rightfully do. And then also victory. I'm very big on pulling people to where God wants them to be through my music. And so this album just releases victory as well, and just helping us to declare what God is saying concerning us in our atmosphere. Yes, we may see certain things, we may hear certain things, we may even be up against certain things, but when God speaks something, that's all that matters. And when you put that in your atmosphere, eventually you're going to see that thing manifest for you. And so that's what this album is all about. You operating in your God-given identity and you really grabbing a hold to your victory that God has promised you.
Wow, I cannot wait for the entire project. I cannot wait. Now we're going to take a listen to your single, Changing Your Story, and we'll come back in just a few minutes.
I need you to release your weight. I know what you've been through, but I came to tell you that God is changing your story. If you believe that he's changing your story, I want to release this in your atmosphere. I know you've been defeated before. I know you fell before. I know you've been sick before. Generation and cursing. 'Cause I want to let you know that God is changing your story. God is changing your story. God is changing your story. He's making you quit the places straight. He's creating a way in your wilderness. He's putting a river in your desert. God is changing your story. Unemployment. Divorce is calling your name. Poverty is calling your name. But I want you to know tonight that God is changing.
Such a powerful song, Jekalyn. Now, I got to ask you, is this your favorite song on the CD, or what is your favorite song? And if it's not your favorite song, what is it and why?
Okay, so this is probably one of my favorite songs.
Okay.
My most favorite song is very hard to choose, but my most favorite is probably "The Blood Never Loses."
Okay.
And I guess because it helped you to understand that whatever you put the blood up against, that
Hmm.
thing cannot match with the blood. Why?
Hmm.
Because the blood is never going to lose its power. So
Yes,
as you
power.
begin to go through your day-to-day lives, and you may encounter some things that you probably didn't even know you were going to encounter. But in
Hmm.
the song, I say, you put the blood on it, and you'll find that the
That's
blood never
good.
loses. And so that's probably why it's probably my most favorite song on the album. And just so you all would know, the album is not coming out yet. It's just a single, and
Just
you'll be
the
able to get your
single
hand.
coming
Yes.
out soon. but the album is on its way. So be anticipating
Yes.
that. And with that said, so what can, I mean, and I know, Changing Your Story is giving us a great sneak peek. So, and I think that'll hold us until we get to the full album. But what can we expect? Can we expect some vocal collabs? Can we expect some writing collabs? What can we expect? Can you tell us?
Well, this album, I wanted to do it with just Jekalyn.
Okay.
And all of our writing has been in-house from
Uh-huh.
every album that we put out.
Right.
But I'm mostly excited about the messages within this album. Of course,
Okay.
I'm still the same Jekalyn. I'm going to release the prophetic messages, but to see and to hear, the revelation through song, and I
Yes.
think it's going to be very beautiful. And I'm excited to hear the testimonies of the people and just to hear how it's blessing their lives. And I'm extremely excited about it. And like I
Yes.
said, the
Yes.
messages that it's producing.
Yes. And it's interesting. I was sharing with someone that I was going to speak with you, and they said, "Can you please get her to sing Greater Is Coming?" I said, I'm not, because we want her to sing Changing Your Story, but we've heard a bit of it, and I know the download is coming, so I'm not going to even put you in the hot seat like that. But I am going to ask you this. With everything that's going on, we're in the midst of a pandemic. We're now seeing where we have young people, multiple races of people standing up for social injustice. What would be your message to the masses that may see this interview? What would you tell them? What would you encourage them to do? Or what would be just your personal message to them?
So for me, when I see everything that is going on, I am deeply heartbroken. When I look at, say, for example, people like George, I see I see my father,
Yes.
I see my uncle, and it's very heartbreaking. And one of the things that I do, I build myself up when it comes to who I am and who God has created me to be.
Yeah.
That way, when I do encounter someone that doesn't look like me and they decide to treat me wrong or do something wrong, I know within myself who I am,
Mhm.
and who God has created me to be. I know that I'm strong. I know that I matter. I know that I was born to be great. And so I encourage others to do the same thing. And I also encourage you to don't forget to love and also remember that as you're speaking, God is listening. If you listen to David, if you listen to the Israelites, I believe, or the children of Israel, however way you want to put it, I believe that God is listening to us within this present day. So again, as you continue to speak out of love and build yourself up in who you are, I believe that God will continue to listen to us, and not only listen, but I believe that God is getting us some vengeance.
So now I'm going to ask you, what are 3 little known facts that you want your fans, the listeners, the audience to know about Jekalyn Carr that they may not know? I can tell you one of them. I did not know that you were a fashion designer. I didn't know that.
Really?
I did not until
Yeah.
I spoke with you at your 21st birthday party. So we got a fashion
Mhm.
designer. Anything else you want them to know that they may not know?
Absolutely. Well, I am breaking into the cosmetic scene. I am
Nice.
launching my cosmetic line, yes, entitled Jekalyn Beauty, coming out very soon. I've been working on it and I'm extremely excited about it.
Nice.
Um, yes, let's see, something else. That's the only thing I can think of for right now.
Okay,
But of
okay.
course, there's, yeah, yes. But that's definitely one of the things that I love to do. I've always been into beauty and all things beauty, really. And now being able to step on the beauty scene, I'm very excited about it.
Okay, well, I can't wait to test out the lip glosses and the eyeshadows. I'm one for makeup. I love it. So I can't wait to see what you come out with. If you had to complete this sentence, what would the completion of this sentence be? Before I leave the house, I must have.
A snack.
Your snack. Okay. So here we're gonna play. We're gonna play really quickly. We're gonna play a little word association game. You ready?
Okay.
All right, so
Okay.
tell me the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear these words. Youth.
Okay. Okay. You say youth?
Youth.
Ooh. Black soap.
Justice.
Oof. Oh my goodness.
It's okay.
I would just say love. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Joy.
Joy. God, of course.
Shoes. Shoes. Like on your feet.
Shoes.
Shoes.
Red bottoms.
Food.
Crab legs.
Family.
Games.
Gifts.
I'm a just because person. So I was can I say just because?
Yeah, just because.
Okay.
Bright.
You said bright.
Bright.
The sun.
Hair.
Bang.
Yes. Singing.
Singing. Jekalyn.
Love.
Your heart.
God.
Heart. Everything.
I love it. Well, Jekalyn, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk with the Circuit with Valerie. And we cannot wait for the CD. But until then, make sure you go and download Changing Your Story. Tell them where they can follow you on social media.
Sure. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is all under my name at Jekalyn Carr. JekalynCarr with the blue check mark behind it.
Make sure you got the blue check mark. We don't want any fake accounts. Blue check mark.
Yeah.
All right, Jekalyn, until next time, be blessed. And thank you so much for your music ministry. Thank you for always keeping us encouraged. Thank you for always empowering us through your music and just your presence. Every time I encounter you, your presence is so delightful. So have a wonderful, wonderful release of this single. Like, I'm just ready for it to just come out and bless the people. And until next time, you guys keep it plugged in to the Circuit with Valerie.